to speak on the general topic on how not to approach the final exams. Now, this is not a routine your structure topic from any other subject from cardiology. It is just for the final exams, how to approach it, the judge general to give you information about it. There are no secrets to success. It is a result of the preparation, hard work, and learning from the failure. Exams are like girlfriends. Difficult to understand, too many questions, more explanation is needed, result is always fatal. Why can be studying for exams be such a challenging task? It is overwhelming to study for more than 5 months, worth material for the texts, and sometimes you get exhausted by the end of the semester by your exams. And the exams can be worth and finally high percentage of final is expected. Often have some more to 1 to 3 exams we have to need for studying the whole year, the whole life. And we have to teach the juniors, the students. The keys to the effective studying is effective study skills which must be practiced to improve yourself. It is not enough to think about the studying, you actually have to have a talent and to reflect it and how can you do better. So these are all the general tips for the exams. Prioritize your list. Study not more than 45 to 60 minutes in general. Take breaks from your desk and try to continue your daily habits, like when your exams are approaching, you stop sleeping, you stop eating, eliminate all the exercise and over tend to sometimes overeat. So this should not be happen. It should be taken as a routine, as a lifestyle. So that if you read ahead of 5 to 6 months ahead of exams, so you won't get tense in the end. You will have enough time for you to relax and do your routine activities also. Creating the right environment for studying is also very important, because when you are going for your final exams, make sure the environment is moderately comfortable, including your room temperature, your furniture, which should not be made, and work somewhere from you which you feel distracted from your phones and from your TV and other things. It should try to have a space that yours only, and doesn't have to be shared with the other members. That is very important, because you get unnecessarily distracted. Keep the study pace organized with your specific papers, pens, and books which you have to study and focus. You should not make a crumpled, like keeping all the books at the same time and then getting confused. Having everything you need to study with you before you sit down, so that you can plan and don't waste your time in searching the topics and searching what you have to study. The value of study schedule, it will not be possible to allocate time effectively if you don't have a schedule. See, if you don't have a schedule, you cannot go ahead with the topic. So time accomplishment is also very much, because disorganization always creates stress and poor planning will create a stress. So should avoid this. So you have a proper planning before you go for a study schedule. Now, what are the keys to be effective exam studying schedule? Obtain your exam outline and complete all your preparation prior to it, and then limit your time to that, so that you can have enough time for revision of your portions which you have studied. There is a very proven study strategies, SQC, that is 3R, that is survey. Get all the best overall picture of what you are going to study before you do it. Number 2, questions. Ask questions to reinforce your own learning. Read actively, read over the material and alert to the main ideas, which is very important in the bolded terms, and key understandings and details. Recite, recalling and then orally, so that you can write and communicate yourself for the better listening. Review, rereading, summarizing your key points and testing yourself with the final questions. So proven study strategies continues with the getting organized. Number 1, reading with purpose, getting the main ideas, extracting the important details and taking notes, and outlining the textbooks, novels and supporting materials. Exam tests your memory, life tests your learning, and others will test your patience. So with this, you have to have a memorization strategies. As everybody knows that you can use some acronym, acrostic, rhyme, case, methods of loci, chaining, and I think you by the time this maybe you are knowing all these how to. For example, you have that PMAT for phases for mitosis, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. So like that, you can make your memory like that, so that you can not tend to forget in your final exams. The problem with the concentration is that the times when you may have trying to study for exams, you might maybe wander from one to another like a horse. You may be wandering from one end to other end. So your worries may distract you. Outside distractions may take you away from your studies before you know it. So you should find your material which should not be boring and interesting, but you can make it yourself interesting by reading in a story way, by a poem way, so that you remember and recollect it better. So concentrated strategies, how are the some strategies which will be used for the students to focus is to avoid all distractions. When your mind wanders, tell yourself now is when I must study. Stick to your routine, realistic and effective study schedule. Focus on your goals with the material you're studying each and every time, and change your study topics every 1 to 2 hours so that you don't get bored and you don't get confused. Where you study, don't try and study in the same way more than 1 hour. Take regular scheduled breaks and enjoy them. Give yourself rewards for even small achievements with your studying. Students don't study strategies that don't work. For example, sometimes reviewing the material only one time. Studying with someone else unless you are equally committed and focused. This gives a little, not a very good way. Staying with really late and pulling on all nighter, it also doesn't give good information. Glossing over the notes without proving you know it, reading information aloud loud without writing it down. So sometimes these are all the things which doesn't work. So you have various types: theoretical, objective, MCQs. Other thing is coping with anxiety is very important, that everybody should do at least 5 to 10 minutes of some yoga and meditation to calm yourself, because when you calm down you are able to think more and recollect it more better than rather than you become tensed. When you're in anger or tense, you're not able to recollect it. So it is always better to cope up your anxiety, which can be viewed in a two ways, like poor coping with the inevitable stress of an exam before it takes place. So all these strong emotions, reactions for the fear that interfere with thinking clearly during the exams, how to avoid these anxiety is by doing at least 5 to 10 minutes of meditation on empty stomach whenever you have time. It is not necessary to sit in the puja room and do your meditation. You can do anytime, even if you are sitting in your own table where you're studying. 5 to 10 minutes, you can do some meditation, because that will calm yourself. So coping up with your anxiety symptoms, because sometimes it can these anxiety can cause blanking out, and fear of failing also is also comes before you in your mind. So with this, your heart rate may go up, your shortness of breathless, and you may sweat out. Lower reading of comprehension, poor attention, inability to concentrate can happen. So these all can be avoided by doing meditation. This thing, failing to prepare. So one of the most common difficulties that students encounter when preparing finally is not having allocated time for studying. Hurriedly they study. Sometimes due to some distraction or something, they are not able to study. They are not able to concentrate. So when you don't fail to study about prior 3 to 6 months or so, you get confused. So you allow that time you are lost. So when the time is lost, time is like a very important thing. So time is lost means you have to hurry up the course. You have to finish up your portions. So it becomes a very difficult task. So students who plan the study strategy and manage their anxiety more effectively are able to study their course material systematically, have enough time to cover the material they need, and to know for their final exams. By scheduling your time to write practice exams similar to the final, they increase their confidence and reduce the exam anxiety. So tips for coping with the exam anxiety is: number one, be prepared early. Number one, number two, sleep well. Please don't avoid sleep. Keep the same caffeine and sugar intake. Processed drinks and all that should be avoided. Learn to relax breathing. and stop studying 1 to 2 hours before going to the bedtime. At least when you go to sleep, you can recollect for 5 10 minutes, you can recollect whatever you studied, and then you can go back. Review the main themes and have a plan before the exams. Aim to do your best to your best of knowledge. So this is a very important, as I mentioned to you, remain calm during and after the exams. Even if you think that you did horribly, worrying about it afterwards will not change a thing. It will not may happen impact to how can you do your other finals. So sometimes, you, theory one, theory two, in the first theory you say that I have not done my theory well, and it is, so it will upset you. So now you should forget about that and go to the next exam is there, so you can prepare for this and leave about others, because it is gone now. What's the use of worrying about the first theory paper, theory 2? Keep yourself head high and move on to the next exam. Odds that are, if you are able to well prepared for this exam, you can do, you did poorly, that others also did poorly, it is not that matters. Always see yourself, assess yourself, and judge yourself. Don't look at others that he has done the best, how I have done poorly. It's not like that. You don't compare with anybody. If you have received 48% and professor decided to curve the final, your score should still be a passing grade. So make sure you eat well. Eating before your study is very important because you can stay focused, you are energetic. Health snacks like fruits and vegetables are more commonly recommended to reduce the stress. Avoid foods with the high sugars, number one, greasy, junk foods, and carbonated drinks, as they aggravate the stressful conditions. You need to at least 4 hours of sleep, at least, to have a good night function. And find yourself so that you're not sleep deprived. So day of the exam, what you do, wake up early and then read at that leisurely time, whatever is available. Carry your notebook, which is you jotted on the important points. Stay away from the stressed out students who may get worried before the exam. So this is very important because somebody tried to stress. Have you read it this? Have you're not finished this portion? So this will make unnecessarily stress. So be away from that. Admit to yourself that you know everything and you can answer everything and you're okay. Try the memory dump strategy and then write down, and if you have any doubt you can write out in your paper, piece of paper, and note it down and recollect it. In summary, studying is an important component of your prepared for your final exams. Any sort of studying is inherently stressful, but there are always way to manage it to reduce the stress, and your approach to studying will vary depending upon the subject matter you are studying. And the keys to be effective studying are all about planning. It's very important. Good idea to start with the process now. Good luck to all your final exams. And ladies and gentlemen, to all the postgraduates, my key message is that don't allow the thought of fruits to interfere with the actions. Don't expect that you are going to get 100%, 80%, 90%. Just do your, this is from Mahabharata. Lord Krishna advised to Arjuna that don't see for the fruit. You do your action. Don't wait for the fruit to come. So that will interfere with your perfectism. Success will be at your doorsteps. Meditation, yoga will calm yourself. So persistence to exams, passion to study, and perseverance, determination will make your way to success. 80% of the final exam, nobody is perfect. 80% of the final exam will be based on one lecture which you have missed when you're gone for some theater or you're gone with your girlfriend, and one book you didn't read because you didn't get time. You didn't plan your study. Exams and grades are temporary, but education is permanent. Keep in mind that neither success nor the failure is ever final. Don't strive for high grades. Always strive for higher learning. Life is the most difficult exam. Many people fail because they try to copy others, not realizing that everyone has a different question papers. So with this, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, by Winston Churchill. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much. Once again, I thank the chairperson for being with us. One point I want to tell you, that in practical exams, when you're going for practical exams, please note down your findings in your notebook. You should not miss, because somebody may tell you the diagnosis and you may hook up the diagnosis. Examiner will immediately come to know that you have been told the diagnosis. So you write your notes. You be honest. I think definitely the examiner will consider you. And accept your past without regrets, handle your present without fear, and face your future with confidence. Thank you very much.